Oh, good evening, everyone. Good evening, ladies and jelly spoons. It is your friendly neighborhood me here in what I am calling the COVID isolation spectacular. It has been a very, very weird last couple of weeks, let me tell you. Having a long weekend and enjoying the company of our good friend Glitching Icarus, who you've probably seen on some of my streams before in the chat, actually getting to meet them for the first time. And it was a great, great weekend. And then a couple days later, Icarus, my spouse, and myself all getting COVID. That was not fun. That was not fun at all. I'm going to tell you right now. 0 out of 10 for COVID. Would not recommend. No stars. No, just absolutely not. Just like my poor April got it first. Between the two of us, when her and Icarus got it, they started showing symptoms on the same day, tested positive the same day. And so it was only a matter of time before I was going to get it with it. And I was just like, yep, I've got about 2 days before I start showing symptoms, because that's how my immune system works. Thank you, Crohn's disease. Takes 2 additional days for it to realize something's happened to it. So this is day 5 for me. So this is my last absolutely required day that I must spend in isolation. And for unfortunately, my poor April got hit with it significantly harder than I did. I am mostly fully recovered after 5 days, but my poor dear has most of the major symptoms have gone, but the intense fatigue and congestion still remains, while I'm just about fully recovered. There's just a few lingering bits of congestion and a slight cough that still refuses to yield. But other than that, just just do not want. And I'm pretty convinced that the difference in severity between the two of us is largely because I just got my second booster 3 weeks ago, whereas April only had the one because she hasn't been allowed to get the second one. I don't know what the rules are regarding boosters where you are, but here in the States, at least in New York, the only people right now who are allowed to get second COVID boosters are anyone over 50 and anyone who is immunocompromised. And because I am immunocompromised, again, hello, Crohn's disease, I was allowed to get that second booster. I got it 3 weeks ago. So for me, COVID was basically the equivalent of having the worst head cold that I've ever had in my life. But at no point did I ever have a fever. No point did I ever have shortness of breath or the loss of taste or anything like that. And, April didn't have the loss of taste either, or the difficulty breathing, but she had the fever, the intense sinus pressure, the headaches, and and she's still, as I said, she's in bed right now. She's resting because she's just absolutely drained. So that's where we are muddling through. But since I'm pretty much just about fully recovered, it's back to streaming we go. And so we're going to pick up tonight with where we left off in Xenosaga. We had wrapped up the Cathedral Keep 2 weeks ago, and now the plot's going to shift back to Junior and the Durandal. And as you can see on the bottom of the bar, at the bottom of your screen there, they were still doing the charity drive for the Women's Reproductive Rights Assistance Project because, as always, abortion rights are human rights, and I don't care what anyone says. That's essential health care. We need it. We absolutely need it. So, if you would like to contribute to the cause, you can type in !charity, and the link to donate link will pop up for you. And I'm doing giveaways for every $100 that we raise. So we're at $150 now, or $50 with the next giveaway. And the giveaway will be in the form of either video game store credit. So it'll be $25 to the video game digital storefront of your choosing. That'll be Steam, the Nintendo eShop, PlayStation Network, or the Xbox Live store, or Xbox Live. Or I'm also giving away art. I am a professional photographer, and if you so choose, you can get an 8x12 print of any image of mine. You can check out my website, Instagram, Vero, Patreon, wherever, and pick an image, and I will have a print made and mail it to you by way of thanks. So that is the plan, and yeah, it's good to be back. It's been 2 weeks, although not entirely by design. So, all right. So I think we are going to start off with a cutscene. So let's just get it over and done with. Junior, those don't sound like running noises.
Don't say anything. It's all over. Everything. Vito!
Six, 666, a chandelier in pieces.
What is this place? The environmental controls here seem extremely strict.
They're so big. 6 to each side, with 1 directly across.
13 in all. Looks like each block has a name inscribed on it.
You've got great eyesight. Let's see. Peter, Andrew, Boanerges, Thomas, John,
Philip, Matthew, Bartholomew, James, Thaddeus, Simon, Judas.
and the last one?
It appears to say Marian Kind.
Marian Kind. I think I've heard that somewhere.
It means the child of Mary.
This is where we store all the really dangerous items. Stuff like this.
Zohars!
Actually, they're all emulators. And they've all been sealed, including the one we just retrieved.
Why are these Zohars here?
Well, our corporation does dabble a little in everything.
And we do mean
Besides,
everything.
These days, you can't get by without having something to deal with the Gnosis. And we definitely can't wait around for the Federation to get off its lazy butt.
What's in the room across from here?
Nothing pleasant, I'll tell you that much.
You're not going to show us?
Trust me, it ain't something you'd want to see.
But now we only want to see it
Even if
more.
we were to consider the diversity of your businesses, you're still a Foundation, right? I mean, the weaponry on this ship far outclass those on any warship. Who are you people, anyway?
We were more or less a government organization previously. Well, I guess if you want to see it that badly.
What is this?
It's Genova. No,
I warned you. You weren't gonna like it, didn't I?
All of these specimens appear to be humans whose bodies turned into Gnosis.
Transformed bodies. I've only heard of them before.
Most people just turn white and shatter to pieces. But there are a few exceptions, and they end up like this. We've named this one Betty for now. It's hard to look straight at them, but I don't want to refer to them by some code name or number. It's just not right to treat the dead like mere objects.
Is that a lady?
She was a little girl, the last time we saw her.
People turning into Gnosis? Have you learned anything about them?
Not much. Plenty of Gnosis remains have been recovered to date, but nobody's learned a thing from them. You know what they're composed of?
No.
Sodium chloride. Plain old salt. Even their translucent bodies, they're mostly made up of water and sodium hydroxide. How can ordinary compounds like that form creatures like them? No one really knows why those who survive Gnosis encounters always turn into one of them. Some people think they're a new type of virus.
Brand?
They're beings from another dimension who take on temporary forms in this one.
Always? No exceptions?
Nope. Not as far as I know.
So they could be from another dimension? Wouldn't that mean that their true forms might exist somewhere else?
Who knows? All that's certain is that they're hostile to humans. Not that such a sentiment is unique to them.
Chief, is something wrong? You don't look so good.
Huh? No, don't worry. It's nothing. So when did this all begin?
Unofficially, phenomena like this have been occurring periodically over the past few centuries. But after a certain incident, the Gnosis leapt into the forefront of history.
A certain incident?
The Miltian conflict. Joachim Mizrahi. It was he who opened Pandora's box and unleashed the Gnosis upon the galaxy.
More on that later.
Paying for his ambition.
Joachim Mizrahi, the brilliant scientist who founded the UTIC organization.
Brilliant? He was a lunatic. Unable to bear his curiosity, he invited the Gnosis into our world.
Lunatic?
The Foundation was established after the war by the newly formed Second Miltian government. to clean up and investigate the facts behind the incident. Technically, that's our real job. Problem is, the funding's tight in peacetime. On top of that, running the Foundation takes a staggering amount of money, and the management of these Zohars ain't cheap either. So, we ended up privatizing part of our operations and became a foundation. We never imagined that some of our side businesses would hit it so big, though.
Daddy wasn't like that.
I'm afraid to say, Momo. But, you know, spoiler alert. Oh. For some reason, I thought that cutscene would be a little longer. I wonder if what I said bothered her. Perhaps the truth that exists here may have been a bit too much for her. Just a little. I'm a little worried about Momo. I wonder where she went. Joachim Mizrahi. He's a very mysterious man. Shelley called for me, so I'm heading over to Durandal's bridge. That was it? We needed a separate shot just for that? I wonder where Momo went. Yes, that's what we're going to do now, is we're going to look for her. Email! A new map has been added to the EVS. Ah, the inside the cathedral ship. Okay. Alrighty, now we're looking for Momo. Beyond that door is a storage warehouse for important secrets. You cannot pass through this area without permission from either Master Guinan or Little Master. You are a friend of Little Master, correct? The girl that was with you just left on the train. The ship's so big, it's got a train, so... Isolation area station. Oh, my apartment! Please enter your destination. Well, Alan just went to the bridge, so let's start with the dock. It just occurred to me that it looks like a tall, that the train looks like a tall soda can. A little girl? Haven't seen one in this area. Come to think of it, I think someone said he saw a girl he'd never seen before in the park. You know what this ship's like. A little girl is pretty rare. No, I don't know what this ship's like. We've only been playing for 20 minutes. Did you know? The Durandal also acts as the Foundation's administrative government. You don't understand what I'm saying. Well, you'll see right away what I mean when this ship arrives in port at the Foundation. Oh, hey, it's a work corridor past this point. It's dangerous, so you can't go any further. Oh, boo-hoo-hoo. Would you like to go out for some coffee? No, that's not right. Oh, it's not like he's broken or anything. He seems to be taking from Little Master on how to hit on girls, and he's practicing. Oh, okay, now that takes us back to the Elsa. Okay. Don't need to do that at the moment. We apologize, but the launch of the Foundation is currently closed. We look forward to serving you again in the future. Alright, well, that's as far as we can go here at the dock. let's go to the residential area. Yes, I know we've been told that Momo is in the park, but you know me. I need to explore every little area. Are you done with work for the day? Lucky you, I'm on my way to my shift now. I have to work hard to make up for what I lost at the casino yesterday. Shoot, I was so engrossed in gambling, my ship left port. I can't get back to the Foundation by myself. Girl? I don't know. She hasn't come here, but if she had, I'd definitely remember. It's rare to see a girl walking around on this ship. What is no one has ever... A girl! This ship itself is about as large as a colony. The Foundation is unique in that it is far safer compared to your average city, but still requires policemen like us. Alright, well, you know, it's a residential area, which means we're going to be breaking and entering, because that's what we do here. It's an RPG, did you know that? Oh. Oh. Hey, well, what do we have here? A customer? I'll watch over you even when I'm sleeping. Oh, how about not? What do you think this is? Yeah, what do you think this is? Twilight? Oh, damned a booster pack. Another booster pack. Shelley and Mary are great, you know. I like how dignified Shelley is, but I just can't dismiss how much I like Mary's enthusiasm either. Alright. Well, I just blew that up and you didn't bat an eye. Alright, good on you. Oh, okay. Save point and an EVS. Okay. Oops, are we starting a game? Luck is everything when it comes to these things. Good luck to the both of us. Okay. You want to hear the start of my life as a gambler? Sure. Ah, good of you to ask. Well, actually, thinking back, it was about 14 years ago. I was still a kid back then. I was living in Milsha at the time, and I used to go play at Milsha Park a lot. And one day, I was playing at the Pink Dome in Milsha Park when I lost a precious card. And to this day, I'm in casinos trying to get that card back. Oh, back then I was little, so I could get inside the dome. What? You got a problem with a policewoman being here? I'm human too. You have to gamble a little in your life. Okay. Obtain the casino passports. That's strange. I'm doing everything the way the little master taught me, but I can't win at all. Am I doing something wrong? Okay. Alright, so before I blow those up. Anything else in here? Since we're just, you know, raiding people's residences? Okay. I will take the ether upgrades and the med kits. Sorry to whoever lived here, but they're mine now. The Durandal is a battleship, but many civilians also work here. It's not that dangerous since Shelley and Mary are in command. They don't do too many reckless things. Oh, but when Little Master is with us, we all brace ourselves. I'm very glad that you people are just letting me just do all this. Just blowing up bits of... And they all come right back. It's great what nanotechnology does these days. That silver means we've got a shop. Two medkit DXs. Alright. Revives, cure-alls, antidotes, neurostims, escape packs. We do not have anyone equipped. Right now it's just Cosmos and myself. Oh. I'll have to come back here to see, reinforced clothing for battles in the Arctic. How much cash do I have? Only 1880. Not a whole lot. But I'll have to come back here for a full complement. What is Cosmos currently equipped with? $14. Okay, so that is an actual increase, a sizable increase at that. We're definitely gonna get that. And that's a plus 24. What's stylish armor? Okay. All right, let's do some equipping then. Okay. I will have stuff to sell, but at the moment we don't need to. Considering the duties, it can't be helped, but a lot of the work here is tough for a normal person. The principal crew members all have special abilities. I think it's called psychokinesis or telepathy or something. Man, I want powers like that too. Ether pack. Ether upgrade. Would you like to register for the Shelley and Mary fan club? If you register now, you'll get a real photograph of them. And that's it. That's it for the residential area. So now we can go back to the tram and move on to the next area. So we've been to the dock, we've been to the residential area, so let's go over to the bridge next. Just going in order. Before we get down to where we need to go to advance the story. I like to explore every nook and cranny. A girl with pink hair? I saw her board the train heading for the park. Okay, so yeah, we definitely have to go there. Good evening, Winged. And yes, I will hydrate. Oh, let's not do that yet. Oh, no, it's my only option. Okay. Yes, let's go to the bridge. See what life is like up there. How goes the recovery? Well, thank you for asking. I am mostly healed back up. I'm mostly recovered. Today's the most I have felt like myself in almost 5 days. April is dealing with she's having a little bit more of a rougher time with it than I have. She's most of the major symptoms have subsided, but she's still dealing with intense fatigue and still some lingering congestion. Seems like you've seen some tough times too. It'll be a while before we get to our destination, so you may as well take your time and look around some. Welcome to the Durandal. Due to the special nature of this ship's missions, numerous cutting-edge technologies have been used here. You look as though you cannot fathom how we obtained this many 100 series observational units. Yeah, you've got a bunch of them. All right. Today is actually day 5 of my mandatory isolation, so tomorrow I will do another test. See if that shows up negative, which would be nice. When Little Master uses an egg, it's more often than not a dangerous investigation. So those of us servicing it have to put our hearts into maintaining it. Our Little Master's piloting sure is rough. His cutting-edge eggs is already falling apart. Oh, no. There are all sorts of valuable things like explosives in the armory. If you go in there without permission, I'm the one who gets in trouble. A girl with pink hair? This seems like the least likely place you'd come across that. And who is this girl? Is she a musician or something? It's another email! This is a notification of an investment trust service called the UM Fund that is available through Sugiyama Securities. Blah, 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 blah. What is the UM Fund? Except I don't have 6,000 gold to play with. Oh, and it's another save point. Okay. So we'll just do a save. So we know there's a save point in the hangar and in the casino. Alrighty, I guess we can go advance the story now. Let's go to the park. It's the last place to go. Oh, little girl, come to think of it, I saw one go up to the observation room. Cutscene.
What do you all think? Joachim Mizrahi the lunatic? Was Daddy really like that? Since Daddy built us, does that mean Realians are bad people too?
Momo, we were looking all over for you.
Hello, Xion.
What's wrong? You look kinda down.
Xion, I was created by Joachim Mizrahi. He designed the 100 series Realians back when the Federation funded him.
I know.
Xion, Daddy wasn't a lunatic. I don't even know what I am.
Identity diffusion. The eternal dilemma. Do you know about the environmental bugs on board this ship? They're actually nanomachines, you know, used to keep enclosed spaces like this clean. I'd say that of all the things Professor Mizrahi or anyone else created, they rank up there pretty high. These bugs may be man-made, but they function as if they've existed all along, almost as if they were meant to be. I think Realians are the same. The only difference between us is the length of our histories. But regardless of our origins, each one of us has an important role to fulfill in this world. Besides, I really doubt Dr. Mizrahi was a dangerous person like everyone makes him out to be. And it's not just because of the environmental bugs. The work he did on Realians was incredibly insightful.
The fundamental Gnosis research Professor Mizrahi left behind played a critical role in the development of modern anti-Gnosis technology.
XX0XXV, thank you for the
Really glad
follow.
to see you react like that. Empathizing with the feelings of others is a major factor in human relationships.
Although I do not believe that the current situation called for me to act in an empathetic manner, I am pleased to be of service to you.
I think Cosmos is really funny.
Too bad she doesn't take instruction very well.
I never got to meet Daddy, but he used to talk to me all the time before I was born. It's all a little hazy, but I remember him telling me that I could become a real person if I did good deeds.
I could do a good deed.
That's a wonderful memory to have.
Uh-huh.
Chief! Great news! After this ship arrives at the Kukai Foundation, they're gonna take us to Second Milsha.
Second Milsha? Really?
Apparently, they have some work to take care of out there. The captain's still whining about repairing the Elsa, but...
Some work? I wonder...
Huh?
Well, I'm sure they've got their own reasons. But don't you think it's a little strange that everyone's heading for Milsha?
Not really. It's probably just a coincidence. I'm just glad we saved some money. Not to mention that this ship's 1,000,000 times better equipped than the Elsa. And we'll have nothing to worry about if we run into the Gnosis again. Hey, speaking of which, did you check out your room? They all have jacuzzis and mini bars and... Hey, what's wrong, Chief?
Nothing. I'm just jealous of how easily swayed you are.
Don't you dare enjoy life, Alan, you butt monkey. I did see the black chocobo crochet that you have, Wing. That was really awesome. Come to think of it, Chief, aren't you tired too? They freed up one of the rooms in the residential area for us so you can get some rest there. I was told it was the room with the red carpet. Shelley told me that you'd know as soon as you go in. Cosmos is a nice person. Thank you for cheering me up. I'm okay now. I concur with your opinion. Without Dr. Mizrahi's research, our technology would not have developed as far as it has. What does it mean that this scenery is beautiful? My eyes can only recognize it as a collection of numerical values and data. It sure is amazing. Seeing the scenery here makes me feel really glad that I could work here on the Durandal. I wish my kids could see it just once. This is a place to be alone with your girlfriend, but there are only Realians aboard this ship. Man, I wish I had a girlfriend. Everyone is obsessed with girls. Girls. Y'all need to get laid or something? We Realians have our personalities set to our respective environments. Those in the military are more like soldiers, and those in private sectors are more like civilians. Alright, so it's back to the residential area we go. Another email. Jesus Christ, you're a busy woman. After you contacted us, we took the inspectors on standby and headed immediately out toward Lutz. We made full use of the UMN gate and arrived as quickly as physically possible. When we arrived, the intruder had already disappeared. The only thing we were able to do was to confirm the intruder's AI double's last moments prior to death. Although it was hard to believe, we feel that he was already onto your manhunt when we began monitoring. The intruder, who realized that the detection of his location was only a matter of time, had the AI act just as a snake charmer until just before we got there. He then used that opportunity to distract our attention elsewhere and smuggle himself onto a cargo ship leaving port nearby, thus covering his tracks. I suspect he probably had a well-thought-out escape plan prepared ahead of time. This guy doesn't slip up. After that, we explained the situation to Hamilton Heavy Industries and got a list of every possible person, vessel, and fact related to Lutz in the last 5 months. It was our last hope, but the intruder randomized the list of data so the clues no longer had any meaning. We completely give up. Well, the only option we have is to wait for his next break-in. However, the intruder may not choose Vector as a target next time around. If that is the case, the next target could be Koshiba, Hotman AZ, Ziggurat Industries, or Hayam's Heavy Industries. The best thing to do until the intruder is captured is to ask other companies for their help. Moreover, we have prepared a reward for you in exchange for your cooperation in this matter. You failed to capture the intruder, but you showed us that you are capable. Please accept this as compensation. Your reward is 60,000 gold, which we have deposited into your account. Holy shit! We were completely taken for fools. I bet the AI who tricked us usually functions at the intruder's front end, is probably studying the intruder's operations through this process. When necessary, the AI repeats the patterns he has learned and feigns the intruder's persona. When our attention is focused on the AI, the intruder quickly escapes. I bet there were warning devices installed at strategic points on the dummy route, but I never expected that the stealth mode I wrote would get penetrated so easily. I thought it was quite impressive, but I'm sure he was frightened too. After all, we were able to run the entire length of the dummy route that had never been hacked just prior to that. That's true. But ultimately, the winner is the intruder who was able to escape. What's the point if he's not caught? It can't be helped. That was the best that we could do under those conditions. I think we did alright. Yeah. Don't let it bother you. Let's see how Vector NSS performs. And now we have 60,000. Whew. Alright, well, to the residential area we go. I wasn't paying attention to the carpet, so I'll have to explore the residential area again. Oh my god. Oh. Oh, okay, well, it was apparently the first one. I would like to go to that save point in the casino and then go back. Do I have the full complement? No, just Shion. Okay. I was gonna say I can go back to the shop and buy some stuff, but now I can answer that email that wanted me to invest 6,000 gold into Or can I not anymore? Apparently I can't do that anymore. Apparently I had to make a decision right then and there, but I didn't have the money, so... Yep. Oh well. And another cutscene. As we get set to arrive.
So that's the Kukai Foundation. They sure know how to spend their money.
I can't wait to see the Durandal turn into a skyscraper. It's so beautiful.
What? We're going to dock just like this?
This ship's supposedly one of the most famous landmarks in the Foundation. I saw it in a travel guide on the Elsa.
Oh, really? I'd never know. I don't check out vacation guides very often.
Oh, look! We're docking!
And now a suggestive scene of a ship docking. Oh god, I'd lose my lunch so quickly with a perspective like that.
Wow!
Wow!
New Year's Eve is the best time to visit. The evening metropolis is quite a sight to behold with all her lights.
Guinan Kukai, the managing director of the Kukai Foundation.
Huh? Junior?
What was that?
Nothing. Nice to meet you.
Welcome to the Kukai Foundation. I heard about your situation from Captain Matthews in Chaos. Is everything all right?
Oh, yes. Thank you for all your help.
Enjoy your stay.
What's wrong with me? Acting so rudely towards someone I just met.
And you must be Momo. I've received word from Yuri Mizrahi of the Contact Subcommittee. We'll make sure you get to Miltia safely.
From Mommy?
Right. She told me to take good care of you.
Can I talk to her?
Well, she seemed pretty busy.
Oh, I see. Why doesn't Mommy ever want to see me?
I'll let you know as soon as I hear from her again.
All right. Thank you very much.
No, it can't be.
Oh, but it is. whatever it isn't.
That android Cosmos, she's got an incredible amount of potential, you know. There's no way she's just a prototype. I'm also concerned about how she resonated with the emulators.
The Hilbert effect. I heard they lost the archetype, but it looks like there's more to this than it seems. And don't forget about her engineer. What was her name? Shion? I think she might be onto us. And our powers.
No way. She's just an ordinary human.
She might not be as ordinary as you think.
I doubt it. She seems normal enough to me. I guess it's possible, though. After all, she's involved in the highest classified part of that project. The same one Helmer's involved in.
The Zohar project.
Listen. Why don't we lay off the Mizrahi talk for a while?
Concerned about that Momo girl?
Don't look at me like that. You think she likes being called the child of a madman? After all, we were both there when Mizrahi finally met his end. We saw what happened. You know that girl's a Realian. Her memory might be imprinted with something.
So you're saying the image she holds of Mizrahi is a false one?
I don't know. That's why I want you to lay off when you're around her. At least for now, anyway.
If you're that concerned about her, why don't you invite her down to the beach? I'm sure it'll help take her mind off of things.
Man, I told you, it's not like that.
Hey.
What's this? Man, it's a stainless steel finished Makalov! With the original box and everything!
I won it at a Lion's Heart auction. It was part of their antique weapons collection.
This isn't like you. You're up to something.
Not at all. I just thought I'd reward you for all the hard work you've done for us recently. Have I gone too far? Don't go shooting that thing all over the place. Remember, you're older than I am. Try to act like it once in a while, all right?
Sweet!
It's open.
Chief, we better get going soon.
Yeah.
What's wrong? Maybe it's just me, but you've been acting gloomy ever since we boarded this ship.
No. Really, it's nothing.
You're lying.
What? You really think I'm acting like that?
Yep. No doubt about it. See? Just like that.
Oh, I just have a lot on my mind. I'm sure that's all it is.
Are you sure? If something's bothering you, I'd be more than happy to listen.
Hey, Shion! Let's go out and play! I'll wait for you over at the shuttle launch, so hurry, okay? See you there!
Quick, a huge distracting thing. All right. Head to the launch pad. All right. Still just Shion. Okay. Let's mosey onward then. So before I proceed on with the plot here, just want to let you all know, first of all, thank you so much for spending some of your Monday evening with me. I do appreciate the pleasure of your company. I know it's been a couple of weeks since I last streamed. We had company and then a week's worth of COVID to deal with, so I'm mostly recovered from that. So thank you for spending some of your evening with me. Also, continuing my charity campaign for the Women's Reproductive Rights Assistance Project, which is an organization that helps women who are in financial need of getting an abortion or other reproductive care. They're an organization that helps women out paying for it, helps women to pay for those services. They're a great organization. They've been around for over 30 years now, so they're a great cause, and if you are able to donate, then by all means, please do so. You can just type in !charity. The link pops up from time to time. Any amount is appreciated, and I'm doing giveaways for every $100 that we raise, either video game store credit or some of my artwork, because I am a photographer. And I'll happily give give my artwork away for a good cause. So we're $50 away from the second giveaway. But if you're unable to donate, I understand, money's tight, I get that. All I ask is that you share the donate link far and wide and help spread the word. And I will be doing this campaign at least through early to mid-August now, because I haven't streamed in a couple of weeks, so I want to make up for that lost time. So thank you so much for listening to my spiel, and I will get back to the game here. Excuse me. Okay. Shan, I'll return to the service module on the Elsa for my regular data update. I appreciate your invitation, but I need to report our current situation to the committee. It's not a chance you get often. Go on and enjoy yourselves. Guinan's private beach. It was still under construction the last time I was here, so it'll be the first time I actually get to see it. Shan, why do you look so down? Let's hurry and go to the beach. I'll show you around. Alright. So now we have a fuller complement. Ether defense. We hope you enjoy your trip to the Kukai Foundation. I'll be your travel guide. Flashback.
Shion, would you laugh at me if I told you that
I think she has a heart.
Cosmos? Showing emotional behavior?
I've run across some interesting phenomena. It's still pretty weak, of course. Almost like a tiny little pulse.
Really? We should definitely keep an eye on that. Cosmos' elemental data structure duplicates that of the human brain. So something like that's certainly not out of the question.
It's a JRPG, winged, of course, fan service.
She was empathizing with Momo back there. I wonder what her subconscious waves were like. Flatline. Oh well, nothing here at all.
Well, what's the matter, Chief? You didn't come down to the beach just to stare at a screen all day, did you?
Come on, Xian. Why don't you come and play with us?
Sorry. In a bit.
Are you working on Cosmos? It must be really tough.
Ah, Cosmos. She's got a lot of black box areas that even we can't analyze.
Black box?
Yeah. We're painstakingly analyzing her bit by bit so that we can recreate her original form again. The only person who knew everything about Cosmos was Kevin.
Say, Alan, do you think Guinan and Junior are father and son? They look a little too far apart in age to be brothers.
I've heard rumors here and there. Some say Guinan cloned himself, while others say Junior's his illegitimate son, or...
I don't think he's a clone. Their genome arrays are a little too different for that.
Wow. You can actually see that, Momo?
I'm an observational realian. They're more than just siblings, or father and son. But at the same time, they're not identical either.
Is that sort of thing possible? Their DNA only has to differ by 0.1% to make them different people, right?
Hey, who's an illegitimate son?
Man, this beach is really great. It doesn't feel artificial at all.
It's our latest product. You can even change the weather. You can't have blue skies all the time, right?
Weather by remote control.
I hate thunder.
Xian.
I'm sorry. I just really hate thunder.
Xian.
Good evening, MJ.
Representative Helmer, busy as always, I see.
Well, hello, Negredo. How are things going?
I don't really care for that name.
My apologies. I'm still not accustomed to calling you Guinan. So, how can I help you?
We're currently headed your way, and we're carrying an unusual package. So I thought it best to inform you.
Oh?
We secured it from an unexpected source. The Federation cruiser Woglinde. It's an emulator.
The 12th one. That matches the UTIC records.
Right. There's no question that it's responsible for the planetary disappearance. Assuming they haven't constructed any more, that's all of them. Aside from the original, of course.
That's clearly impossible, now that the only man who can create them is no longer alive.
True enough. And one more thing. We have the Contact Subcommittee's 100 series prototype.
How did that wind up in your hands?
One of our passenger freighters rescued her 76 hours ago.
Is the ability to attract that sort of coincidence another one of your special powers?
Not a coincidence, but a probability, as a certain acquaintance might say. Anyway, I'm concerned with what the UTIC organization is up to. You may want to step up your precautions.
I'll see what I can sniff out from the UMN Administration Bureau. We can locate any large-scale gate jumps from there.
Excellent idea. Assuming they have no emulators in their possession. The odds are that they'll go after the original sealed on Old Milsha.
Dun dun dun.
Not to mention,
Udu.
I don't know what their ultimate goal is. But we can't allow that thing to reawaken again, no matter what.
Understood. We'll prepare for your arrival. I'm looking forward to seeing you again.
Either way, MG, I don't know who Blade or Jet is, so... I'm going back to the Elsa to check on Cosmos. Are you sure you'll be alright, Chief? Yeah, sorry for losing it earlier. I don't have very good memories of Thunder. Chief... I'm a little tired, so I'll rest at a hotel in City Sector 27. I'll go to the Elsa after I get a little rest. Please take care of Cosmos until then. Alright. Chief? Please don't push yourself too hard. Yes, I know. Alright. We still have 4. Okay. Cowboy Bebop I only know in theme, and Blade Runner I've never seen. You were saying earlier, Winged, fan service. Yes, indeed. In fact, actually, when you beat the game, when you beat Xenosaga 1 and 2, you unlock swimsuit armor for a couple of the lady characters here. Oh, Ziggy! Is there something wrong? No, I just came to see how you were doing. Haven't seen that either, MG. Yes. No, I'm feeling far less dead than I was, Halfling Spy. Sure, that's what you say, but the real reason why you came here is because you wanted to play, right? Are you alright? You don't look well. Oh, it's nothing, really. I'm completely fine. Okay. If you say so, but it's better not to push yourself too much. Yes, I know. All right. City Sector 26 and 27. Launch pad, so that takes us back to the Durandal. The Parts Shop and Foundation Robot Academy. So yes, let's start there. Let's see if we can beef up the eggs units a little bit. Why can't I go anywhere? It'll be kind of annoying if I get stuck there after all of that. Apparently I can't move. That's frustrating. They're all so cool. Which one should I pick? I like Vector's VX series, but the AG type, the blah 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 blah. Wow, I'm stuck. Alright, I'm gonna have to restart that. That's annoying. Oh yeah, I can't move at all. Okay. I'm gonna have to restart from the last save then. Alright. I don't know what that horse shit is all about, but, okay. Fortunately, most of that is cutscenes, so we can just, blow past it. That was weird. Good evening, Live Deaths. Yeah, the game froze.
Wow!
Okay. This time, let's do another save. Because that was weird. Well, you know, I could always do with extra hydration. Especially in the recovery from COVID here, hydration is very important. Today is day 5 of my mandatory isolation. And I put you specifically on a 10-minute timer. You're the reason why there's a cooldown timer, because you abuse the privilege. You start spamming hydrate, then, that takes away from the stream, you'll see. You have nobody but yourself to blame. I'm just going to skip over all these cutscenes. Okay. Yeah, it didn't take as long. Didn't take as... Exposition that I've already played. I'm not replaying the last 30 minutes. Besides, you can always watch this stream on Twitch for the next 2 weeks or up on my YouTube channel when I upload it in about 2 days, where it can be forever if you are concerned about the exposition, sir. This game was wonderful, but it really needed an editor pass. It was given a really big pair. Seriously. All right, let's not go to the place that the game froze on me at. Let's go to the city sector then, and hopefully, Good. What? A hotel? There's one right over there. The building with the sign that says, Our Treasure. Iron Man. I heard that the bartender is actually a member of Director Guinan's fan club. I wonder if his tastes run along those lines. No. This bar's been done in poor taste. Everything is so tacky. So let's go in. Let's go to the nice seedy bar. I'm sure Guy Fieri's here doing an episode of Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. I haven't seen you around before. Have you been in town working out regularly? You won't make it in this town looking like that. Listen, men have to be strong, you know what I mean? Or else you can't protect what's important. Okay. The bartender's long-winded stories are annoying. He boasts about himself every chance he gets. Welcome to the Iron Man. Please take any available seat. Watch out! This is a cargo elevator. You can operate it with a switch on the second floor. What did you think of my performance? Just kidding, this piano is broken, so it doesn't make a sound. Oh, tee. Oh, how is it I'm so unlucky? I can't believe I lost the precious engagement ring in quotes that my fiancé gave me. If he finds out that I lost the engagement ring, I'm sure he'll be so upset that he'll toss me out like garbage. If only I hadn't dropped the ring on the beach. If only the fish hadn't taken the ring I dropped in its mouth. If only the fish with the ring hadn't escaped into... Blah, 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 blah. All right, so I'm going back to the beach. Shelley and Mary are really great. They're so beautiful. I envy Director Guinan for being able to be with those sisters. I see Live Debts has redeemed the voice modulator. All right, so we will get to that in just a moment. Ah. I was wondering how you get behind there. I'm gonna go to the second floor. All right. So, let's pull up the voice first. I need a D20. I need a D20 first and foremost. All right, which I've got. So, on my voice modulator program, there are 19 options. So I'll roll a D20, and we'll get 1 to 19. If I roll a 20, I'll re-roll it again. See what we get. Actually, you know what? Let's use one of my fancier D20s for this. Let's break out the I didn't get rid of it. For tonight I've taken down the kazoo and the Ren Fair garb because I'm still recovering from COVID, and also my wife, also who's had a worse time of it than I have, is probably sleeping at this point because of all the fatigue. So I've taken down the things that will cause me to disturb her for the moment. So they're not completely gone. They're just temporarily unavailable. All right, let's pull up my nice little tiger's eye D20, and we'll roll it, and we'll get the voice modulator on for live deaths. The roll is a 6. So what is that in my program? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, this is called Electro Beast. I don't know what it sounds like, and I won't know what it sounds like until I play the recording back. So let me just set my timer for 5 minutes. And let's do that. Not 50 minutes, 5 minutes. So let's do that.
Now, so for the next 5 minutes, I sound like this, so enjoy as you will. Man, I love this shop's style. Look at that, I am free. I've always admired them ever since I was a kid. I'm who I am today thanks to that comic. The customer's been going on and on about comics. I don't care if he's an Iron or an Iron Horse, they should be a little quieter. Why don't we come to a bar like this? We should have picked a bar with a better atmosphere. Hurrah! Alright, let's temporarily go back to the beach so we can get that engagement ring from the fish and the whatever. Weird things in quotes. Let's go back to the beach and find this fish. I'm seeing no fish. Oh, I see a fish. I see a double fish. I'll put around here for a minute. I'm sorry about your engagement ring. Apparently this is as far in the water as I can go. So left to wait on your precious engagement ring for another time. Let's go back to exploring the city here. Alright. Hey, quit chit-chatting and get to work. Who are you people? You're from the Durandal, aren't you? Do you work on the Durandal? Man, this is exhausting. The old man's a slave driver. He can let me rest him. You an outsider? This foundation is comprised of people like us with special powers and physical abilities. Here, people call us the victims of the life recycling act, but we never thought of ourselves as victims. We're gonna turn the crank. Ah. Well, the bartender will get angry if you mess with that crank. The bartender's really strong. He'd probably beat you down in one punch. Called One Punch Man. So, well, now you've done it. I warned you not to touch it, but oh, it's strange. I feel really happy. I feel like we could become really good friends. Hey, did you hear that? St. Planet is a love child. That's what my mom told me yesterday. And I heard his kid doesn't age at all. Mom was saying that maybe it's a cyborg. I think Planet's kid is cool. Well, customer, this hotel is very popular. And that is the end of your voice modulator, so... That was Electro Beast.
And now we're back to normal, boring me. I guess it can't be helped that most of the tourists go to the other side of the city. Yes. It's the inn and shoppy, and a save point. My, a customer, rare to see people in this remote area. There's nothing noteworthy to see here if you're sightseeing. Everyone's been moving to the newly built Sector 36. James Earl Jones with Echo. Okay. I will take your word for it when I listen to that section of the recorded stream. Oh, I'm sorry, but please refrain from going back there without permission. Well, I'm going to have to sneak back there. Welcome! Oh, you must be Director Guinan's guests. I've already received payment from Director Guinan, so please make yourselves at home. Ah, I feel much better. Oh, Alan's probably waiting. I better hurry back to the Elsa and start the maintenance on Cosmos. HP and EP restored! But you're still hungry. Hey, don't you touch that safe! The contents inside are more important to my wife and me than life itself. It's not something for you guys to touch as you please. Eh. Well, customer, don't worry, nothing to be afraid of. The family's always like that. That's the way of bonding, nothing to worry about. Physical attack 7. nope, that gives him a little boost. Platinum rod. Very good. So we've gotten a little boost for okay. I wish I could see what no, stop. Okay. Okay, so that would definitely be an increase. Space helmet! Tech attack, shock blade. I'm gonna get that. Oh, he's already got. Okay. I mean, I've got the cash. And we already just replaced you. And we're replacing you. Excuse me. I'm not entirely 100% yet, as you can well hear. Alright. Beautiful. Now, wait a minute. That goes down to that. That goes to 31, but... Oh, alright. Okay. You've made... Ooh. Stylish armor. Okay. Think we're good on... No, we're not. Let's check Shion. Good evening, Sayonara. Hope you are doing well this evening. I'll be wrapping up in about 15 minutes, but thank you so much for stopping by. Since you're here, have you given any thought about what you would like, because you won the giveaway a couple weeks ago? I've been better. My wife and I are both recovering from COVID. I am mostly healed up. My wife's having a little harder time of it. I wonder. Yes, COVID does suck very bad. No stars. I don't recommend it. That's why I haven't. Yes, there was a giveaway on my last stream, and you won it. But you had to leave very shortly after the giveaway. You were having some issues. Hey, and thank you for the sub. Thank you for the resub. But yes, you won the giveaway, so you have an option. You can either get $25 worth of store credit to the video game storefront of your choosing, so either Steam, the Nintendo eShop, the PlayStation Network, or Xbox Live, or you can go onto my website and pick any image on there, and I will send you an 8x12 print of whatever you choose. But again, you don't have to tell me right this second, unless you've already made up your mind. What the hell did I just walk into? Hold on. You guys outsiders? Seems like it's your first time to the Foundation. Then So, to check out you can choose any image from my website. So, let me just punch up. Thank you, Winged. Very good. So that takes you to my card page, which is like Linktree. It's got all the links. So it's got my website, Instagram, Patreon, Vero. So you go to any one of those places, and I've posted my images on. Pick one, and I will send you an 8x12 print of the image of your choosing. This old woman give you some knowledge. The Foundation, you see, can actually move around. The hell did I just wander into? I don't know, but we're going to explore anyway. Boss here that skill should be learned through observation, but meanwhile he refuses to teach me anything. That's why I peek at the boss's work from here. But please don't tell anyone about this. Okay, it's a kitchen. Or what looks like a kitchen. A place to check nooks and crannies, yes. As any RPG should. There's a treasure box on the roof of this building, but how to get to it? I've lived in this town for years, but I still haven't been able to get up to the roof of that building. I wonder who put it up there. A treasure on the roof. Sounds crazy, no? What is it? I'm on break right now. Please don't bother me during my precious time off. I'm the type that just can't sit still when books aren't arranged neatly on bookshelves. I tidy up every day. Man, the boss here uses people like slaves. And then he says he's too shy and won't even set foot outside the shop. Good grief. Maybe this treasure is actually a fiddler. It could be. You never know. Press the switch. Oh, that just takes us down. Okay. I was hoping that'd lift up. I see we have the Pac-Man Bakery Smile. I'm just going to explore this last little area before we call it a night. Oh, it's dangerous to stand here. Everyone hits their head on that ladder that's lowered from above. This bakery is one of the best on the Foundation. The bread's tasty and the cute girl at the front draws in the customers. One thing about this bakery is that the baker is really odd. He's never shown himself in public, and there are few people who have ever seen the baker, even among those living in this town. Welcome, would you like some freshly baked bread? It's very good. My father's extremely shy of strangers, but he's a great baker. What, you got a problem with me? If not, then hurry up and get lost. I'm not on exhibit, you know. Can't you understand something as simple as that? If you're around, Mina will see me. Hurry up and get lost. Meh. Do you know about this statue? This statue is a self-professed acquaintance of a classmate that lived next door to the second cousin of Director Guinan, who built this town. So basically, it's a statue of someone who has nothing to do with this town. Nom nom nom. Yes. Bread. Let's get this bread. This place? This is King's Warehouse. There's a swarm of thugs inside. If you've no business in there, you're better off staying out. Well, then let's go in. Because, of course, let's go in. Wow, someone was bored. So, as we are winding down here, got another 5-10 minutes to go. Just want to first say, again, thank you so much for spending some of your Monday evening with me. This is my first stream in 2 weeks. Because first I had company over, and then it was COVID. So, yeah, it's been 2 weeks. So thank you for coming back out and spending a couple hours with me. Always very much appreciated. Also, just want to remind everyone, this will be the last time I mention this tonight, that this is the ongoing charity campaign for the Women's Reproductive Rights Assistance Project, which is an organization that helps women who need financial assistance to get an abortion or other reproductive health care get them. get those services. They're a great cause. They've been around for over 30 years. So if you can, please make a donation. Just type in !charity and the link will pop up. Any amount is appreciated. I'm doing giveaways for every $100 we raise, and we're $50 away from the next one. Giveaways will be either video game store credit, again, to the video game digital storefront of your choosing. So again, Steam, Nintendo eShop, PlayStation Network, or Xbox Live. Or you could get you can get some of my artwork, because I'm a professional photographer. You can go onto my website or Instagram or Arrow. Any one image that you want as a print, I will send you an 8x12 of the image of your choosing. So that's how I'm doing the giveaway. And again, for every $100, $50 away from the next one. So much appreciated. But if you can't donate, I understand. Money's tight. I get it. I absolutely get it. All I ask is that you share the donation link far and wide. So let me just do that one more time in the chat there. Bingo, there it is. This is Master King's warehouse. What are you doing here? King absolutely loves cats. He loves cats so much he'd easily give up the life of one of his underlings for a cat. Don't you think we're really patient to put up with that? You don't belong here. You better hurry on out of here if you know what's good for you. This is the best way to kill time. Junk is brought to this warehouse from colonies all over the place. There are lots of stuff that can be used with a bit of fixing. I'll take that escape pack. Who the hell are you? Have you come here to see the great king who controls the Foundation from behind the scenes? Perfect timing. We'll see if you can keep that calm look on your faces after you've seen my powers. Ha! What do you think of my powers? You scared? I bet you are. Cat got your tongue? Meow. Oh my, Francois. My darling kitty, I was so worried about you. Wait, where are you going? Don't do anything naughty now. Dance, dance, dance. Revolution? Well, pretty cool, huh? I'm gonna spread this dance throughout the Foundation. Ha ha ha! Okay. Talk to me! You're not gonna destroy me. You're talking to me? You wouldn't happen to be Tom's friend, would you? A friend of Tom's is a friend of mine. How is Tom? I see. I'm glad Tom's doing okay. It was really bothering me that I didn't get to say goodbye to Tom. I know. As a token of our friendship, I'll tell you something interesting. What kind of story would you like to hear? All right, I'll let you guys decide. A somewhat interesting story, a pretty good story, a good story, a great story. Those are your four options. A somewhat interesting story, a pretty good story, or great story. I'll let you guys pick. If not, I will let a D4 decide. All right. Then I'm going to have a D4 decide then. As soon as I pluck the... Okay, fine, fuck you. You're arguing with me. Let's go to a different D4. Alright, let's break out Lapis. Alright, and it's just going to be in order. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4! The great story. Alright, so what is this great story? In the Durandal's observation room, there's a segment key on the ground shaded by a potted tree. You'll need to look very carefully for it. Well, to commemorate us becoming friends, I'll take a picture. Are you ready? Okay, say cheese. When the photo's ready, I'll send it to you. Say hi to Tom for me. Hey, were you scared? Mr. King scared you, didn't he? There's nothing more frightening than the way he changes when he talks to cats. Oh, that's a taboo subject in this town. What do you want? There's no switch behind me. Don't concern yourself with unnecessary things. Go away. What do you want? Don't you give up. Like I said, there's no switch behind me. Something terrible will happen if you press it. Go away! Let's see if this is one of those things where you have to, bug him a bunch of times. Where the hell am I? Leave me alone. I'm going to become a soldier, no matter what it takes. Why are we running a cleaners in this day and age anyway? You can just leave that job to a laundry machine. A cleaners is not so cool. Mom doesn't understand how a man feels. I don't care about that stubborn fool. I'm leaving this house. Okay. 2 ether upgrades. 1,200 gold. And a segment address number 3. All right. Bread. You know. Oh, hello.
You don't have messenger on.
I have not gotten a message.
Okay. Did you take your antibiotics?
I have not.
It's 9:30.
All right, they're in your room. You know, I'm just a part-timer here, so I don't know the details, but this family sure seems to love arguing. Inherit the shop, not inherit the shop. Then it's, I'm leaving. No, I'm throwing you out. I really don't know how they never get tired of it. Thank you. As soon as I moved my phone, it vibrated and your message showed up. Isn't it grand? Yes. We pause for a pill break as we pop some more of these. These are, I was prescribed the antiviral medication for COVID. And the description of these pills, they say that they're the color of Swedish orange, which, I mean, that looks more like a brown to me. Maybe a burnt sienna or a burnt umber if we go from there. I have one more dose of these to go tomorrow morning. I just drank some water, you silly bot. That's the dry cleaners. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so that just takes us back to... Okay. Really, that little troublemaker of mine, he never helps with work and just wanders off. I wish he'd be a good son and take over the cleaners. But then he started talking about becoming a soldier. That boy's got no respect. Oh, that prodigal son? He's a headache. He makes such a racket saying he'll run away from home and never comes back when his mother scolds him. Then the very next day, he's right back home. He's such a troublemaker. When he runs away from home, he always leaves using that ladder. He's probably got a good hiding place somewhere. That I presently can't get to. There's something in the dryer. Obtained PM card B. I was watching a stream recently where they were elated every time the guy went to pee. Okay. I mean, to each their own, I suppose. No judgment. Alrighty, so now we've done that. And we've gone through the bakery there. I believe. Yep, we are after 9:30 at this point, so I'm going to go back. I am going to save it. And I will call it a night. So my next stream, if that happens, will probably be there it is. Will probably be Thursday, because if all goes well, I will be traveling again on Friday. To go see my family over in Massachusetts. So if I'm feeling good, the next stream will be Thursday, and it's going to be an art stream, because I've got some new photography. I did a photo shoot a few days before the COVID hit, so we've got some stuff. Also, I don't know if some of you saw, I posted this on my Facebook and on my Twitter, but a couple weeks ago, I went to a flea market, and there was this seller there that had a bunch of random shit, and among the piles of random shit were just this bin that contained envelopes from photo labs that no longer exist, containing old negatives. And I bought an envelope, and I scanned all the negatives that were in it. It was like 110 negatives, all medium format size, all big, larger negatives. So I'll be showing some of those off, as well as working on some of the images from my last shoot. So that will probably be, again, this Thursday, more than likely. So that is going to do it for me tonight. Again, thank you so very, very much. Thank you so very much for spending some of your Monday evening with me. I very much appreciate the pleasure of your company. So, until I see you again, stay healthy, stay safe, go get vaccinated, go get boosted. Those vaccines and those boosters probably saved me from getting much worse. All I felt was... All my experience with COVID was that it just felt like the worst head cold on the planet, but I never ever got a fever from it. And I'm pretty sure that those boosters help prevent it from becoming much, much worse. So go get vaccinated, go get boosted. Thank you, MG. Keep wearing your goddamn masks. Good night, and joy be with you all, everyone. I will see you probably Thursday night. So until then, be well. I'll see you later.